Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be my review for Alien Romulus, the latest installment of the Alien franchise. Now, Alien Covenant was the latest movie we had before Alien Romulus, and it was very divisive amongst fans. I'm sort of in the middle of it. I don't love it, I don't hate it, and I'm sort of right in the middle of Alien Covenant. So I'm really looking forward to Alien Romulus. I'm hoping that this movie would go back to the horror aspects that I fell in love with the original Alien movie. When you talk about some of the most popular and the greatest movies in the Alien franchise, it's a lot of times people are saying Aliens, which is the James Cameron sequel to Ridley Scott's Alien film. Me, I prefer Alien over Aliens. I love both films, but I enjoy the horror aspect of the first Ridley Scott film. It's much like the debate between Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Again, both James Cameron films, but the original Terminator was a horror sci-fi movie, much like the original Alien, and then with the sequel, James Cameron made it more action oriented, much more action packed film, and he did the same thing with the Aliens franchise. So I was super excited that Fede Alvarez was coming to direct this Alien movie, and I was hoping that they were going to go back to the horror aspects. Did he achieve that? Yes, I think he did achieve it. I was really skeptical going in because I'm not a fan of the director, Fede Alvarez. Not a big fan of the director. I absolutely hated Don't Breathe. I can go on for hours about how much that movie just didn't make any sense, and it's just a whole thing. I'm not going to recap my hate for Don't Breathe here in this review, but I was going in very skeptical. One, because Alien Covenant was very divisive between the fan base, and for me, Fede Alvarez has kind of been like a hit and miss as a director. So I went in very skeptical, caught a matinee on Sunday, and actually left the movie really, really thoroughly entertained and happy for what I saw. Is the movie perfect? Absolutely not. I do have problems with it, but I will just tell you my score right out the bat, right? If you want me to give you a score, should I recommend this movie to other people? Look, my buddy DJ said it best when he said he gives it a 7.5. I am also going to give it a 7.5. I think his score was right on the money. You can go check out his review at the Token Black Guy. Go check out DJ's review. And yeah, I kind of give it a 7.5. And that's a good score. I think that's a fantastic score. I think people like are crazy with scores nowadays. If it isn't a 9 or 10, it's not great, and I think that's insane. Like for me, a 5 is an average movie. A 6 is a better than average movie. Anywhere between 7 and 8, it's a good solid movie, and 9 or 10, it's an excellent movie. This whole notion of a movie needs to be a 9 or 10 where it's not good is just insane. I give this movie a 7.5. This is a solid movie. I would have given this movie an 8.5, but the last 15 minutes kind of ruined the film for me. The movie just kind of went on 15 minutes longer than it should have. It was kind of reaching this climax that you think, and maybe this was the direction of the director the entire time. I'm not sure. Like, oh, make the audience think that this is the end point, because so many of the Alien movies end at that certain spot where, spoiler alert, guys, minor spoilers here if you haven't seen Alien Romulus, but they get to a spot toward the end of the movie where one of the female characters, Isabella Moner, I know she changed her last name, but I'm still gonna call her Isabella Moner for forever. She injects herself with this DNA between alien and human hybrid or whatever, and she injects herself, and the main female lead sticks her in a cryo chamber, and you're like, oh, okay, the movie's gonna end with the cliffhanger of sticking her in the cryo chamber, and then later on down the line, we'll pick up where that left off and see like where she like exploded, or they're gonna open it up and she's just gonna attack everybody. But no, they don't do that, which I think that was the logical choice to go do, because in so many of the Alien movies, whether it be Prometheus, Alien Covenant, the original Aliens, and all a lot of times the movie ends with them sticking them in a cryo chamber, and boom, it kind of like goes to credits. And I think maybe Fede Alvarez was like, oh, I'm gonna trick them, make him think this is the end, and it goes for another 15 minutes where the baby hatches out of her. She used that DNA, and it was sort of like this alien engineer hybrid from the Prometheus movies, and I don't have a problem with that concept. I actually very much appreciate that this movie references Prometheus, because I think Prometheus is extremely undervalued and underrated. I actually really enjoyed Ridley Scott's Prometheus film, but the problem with this, and by having this movie go on a little longer than it has, was it just made that runtime a little longer. I felt like this story already came to its natural resolution, or and we didn't need to continue on with the story. We didn't need to see that last part. That would have been something to leave on the cliffhanger on, have the audience wanting more, and then you can, if the movie is successful, you can go ahead and pick it back up in the sequel. But instead, they're like, oh no, we're going to continue for another 15 minutes and resolve this narrative point in the movie, and I felt like it just wasn't needed. It made the runtime a little bit longer than it necessarily needed it to be. Everything was wrapped up at that point, except for that one aspect that was clearly a setup that could have been for a sequel, but they didn't do that. But other than that last 15 minutes, I had a great time with this movie. The characters, they were kind of hit and miss and paint by numbers, but one of my favorite characters is the character named Andy, who is a synthetic, basically a android. He's a synthetic. We had synthetics throughout the Alien universe. They bleed white blood and all that stuff. This guy was phenomenal. He was played by David Johnson, and this dude was phenomenal. He literally played two different characters in the same movie. He's playing this like sort of like sad, stuttery type character that always wants to make sure that Rain, the female lead Rain, is always taken care of. And then something happens midway through the movie, and they have to like kind of reprogram him a little bit with this chip, and he becomes a completely different character with different motives, and he plays them completely different. And every time that David Johnson was on screen as this Andy character, it was just like, oh my god, he like stole the movie. He stole the scenes he was in. Like, he was chilling, he was funny, he was like just so good in this role. Like, he was phenomenal, right? Much like I thought Michael Fassbender's David character in Prometheus was the standout character in that movie, Andy is the standout. Maybe they should just make a movie with synthetics, because apparently like these are the best parts of the movie, but Andy definitely stood out. I didn't mind Rain. I thought Rain was a decent character. The whole time I'm watching her, I'm just thinking like, why wasn't she cast as Ellie in the Last of Us series? Because she really reminds me of Ellie. But yeah, I really liked those two characters. Andy by far is I would tell people, go see this movie just for David Johnson's character, Andy, because the performance is good. He's a likable character. You hate him at times, but overall he's just a phenomenal character, and I think he did a phenomenal job. The plot for the movie is very simplistic. It's a bunch of kids. They're on this planet where they have to do a lot of hard labor in mines and whatnot. There's a sickness. People are dying, their parents are dying, they just want to get off the planet. They find what they think is a ship, but it ends up being the space station Romulus. It connects into the original Sigourney Weaver Alien movie, so you got that connection, because this movie does take place after Alien and before James Cameron's Alien. So this movie's like sandwiched right in between those two movies, which is awesome. Great that they actually have references to the original movie, which I enjoyed as an Alien fan. And overall, I was super happy with what Fede Alvarez was able to accomplish. I thought he brought horror back into the Alien franchise. It wasn't over the top sci-fi action. It was back to the horror roots. The face huggers were absolutely terrifying in this movie. Man, they have been more terrifying in this movie than any other movie I've ever seen. The facehuggers were absolutely terrifying, and in the end, I think Alien Romulus did for the Alien franchise what Prey did to the Predator franchise. Bring it back to basics, Take it more serious. Don't give us this super engineered clone version of an alien queen or a super engineered predator. Go back to basics. You don't always need to make things bigger, better, and all like kind of wackadoo crap, man. Like we seen the Alien franchise spin off in some weird crap. We seen the Predator franchise. Like let's not forget about the Shane Black movie. Okay, the movie he directed. Like that movie was super weird. And now we need to do the same thing with Terminator. We need to go back to basics. Make Terminator a horror film again. Go back with a budget that's way below 100 million. Like give it a 70, 80 million dollar budget. Make it small, simplistic, and go back to basics with Terminator. We've seen Predator do it with Prey. Alien has just done it with Alien Romulus. Let's get Terminator back on track to doing great things. So, Alien Romulus. Absolutely enjoyed the movie. I highly recommend it. Like I said, a 7.5 out of 10 for me. I think that's a phenomenal score. If anybody's like crazy with their 9s and 10s, and then I don't think you understand how rating movies and reviewing movies actually work. But 7.5 out of 10 is a fantastic score. I really enjoyed the movie, and I highly recommend it. If you want to see Alien go back to basics, you want to see great character like David Johnson's Andy, and Rain is pretty good too. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it, guys. Please do me a favor. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Smash that like button. That's the most important part. If you guys don't leave comments, just hit the thumbs up button. That helps me out a lot. Also, I finished watching Furiosa. I finally got a chance to watch Furiosa. So if you guys want me to go ahead and review Furiosa, please do me a favor. Just hit the like button and say, Rob, we want to see Furiosa review from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I am Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.